Dallas has just been on a tear. I believe we can attribute that to Jason Robertson. Also, Jake Ottinger, who's really stepped in.
Yeah, so we can compare a rookie QB to a toddler. Hayward's absence for this game will be significant, and I wouldn't be surprised if this game turns into a blowout as of late.
The Golden Knights just can't pull it. I really think the Avalanche are determined this year.
They made so many moves and grabbed so many guys that they have to win a championship or at least make the finals. They were on our championship and bust.
The same self, the only year he won an MVP was the year he cheated, which really should put something against that MVP. But
Yeah, and as a Cowboys fan, I have learned how dangerously good Aaron Rodgers has been with he can just thread a pass.
Hello, I am Ruby Ackerman, and you are listening to Outsider's Opinion with Kevin and Austin.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to our sports opinion of the week. We're going to talk about the NBA and NHL. The man who may not really want to talk about the NHL, but will continue to talk about the NHL is Austin. My condolences on the Bruins.
Yeah, this video isn't coming out. We won't have a video before this talking about the Bruins, so I'll probably explain more there. But it's been tough, but what a series, and really the playoffs so much more entertaining right now in the NHL.
Oh yeah, I agree. I've been watching a majority of the NHL ones mostly because of the Stars, but I've said this. I think I may have said it in another video, but first round of NBA playoffs, if the Mavs aren't playing, I'm not really interested. There may be a few series, but there weren't just any kind of those series except the Kings and Warriors. But even in Game 7, that one, I didn't watch it, and it looks like I didn't really have to watch it. It was a 20-point game.
Yeah, the Warriors ended up running away from it, or with it, in the fourth. I did watch the game, but so many series in the NBA are finished before 5 games, or 5 or before. That's a problem in my eyes because that means the series really isn't competitive. And there was only one of those series in the first round in the NHL, Winnipeg versus Vegas, and there was still an overtime game and so many close matchups there that it made it extremely entertaining, even though it was short. But there were series like the Knicks series that were extremely lopsided, and then the Nets obviously got swept. So it makes you really wonder how much parity is in the league, and I do think that may be an issue for the NBA, and I don't get why they've expanded the playoffs or at least added a play-in as they did.
Yeah, I don't really understand it, and I've said this before, maybe not on air, but off air. If there was to be a team or a thing that would want to expand the playoffs, I think the NHL has a case because we've talked about the President's Trophy curse. I don't mean to rub salt in the wound, but the Bruins is a perfect example of parity because it was a tough series and it was fantastic to watch. I don't know how you felt, but just Game 7 in overtime, your season can end with one shot.
I know it's a brutal watch for anybody, either fan base. I get it. Most people wanted the Bruins to lose, and I understand that. The people
I was rooting for them.
I
just wanted them to lose in the second round.
I appreciate that. You wanted me to have some semblance of happiness come recording time, but it is what it is. I've watched the Bruins in the Stanley Cup final be up a goal with a minute and 16 seconds left, give up a goal. Now it's tied, and then the Blackhawks score again before overtime. Wow. They give up 2 goals in the span of 30 seconds, and that's it. And Stanley Cup final's over instead of forcing a Game 7. And there's so much parity. Any team can win any series. If you got to the playoffs, you deserve it. And when you get there, you can win. And I do think the whole thing about expanding goes back to 2020. We saw a 12 seed beat a 5 seed to get into the playoffs. The Blackhawks beat the Oilers 3-1 in that series to end up having to play Pittsburgh, I believe it was, in the next round. That's the other side. Who did the Blackhawks end up playing in the first round? I played Vegas in the first round. That's right. And that series was even good. It's just, if you get to the playoffs, it's an entirely different environment than it is with the NBA. Unless you have a extreme star player like we see in the case of Jimmy Butler, who that team has experience. They've already been to the finals. They were a 1 seed last year. And I get it with the Panthers. They were a 1 seed last year. But the Kraken had never made a playoff experience or has zero playoff experience because they just started. This is their second year of existence, and they beat the reigning defending champs.
Yeah, and I think you can tell the atmosphere just from sitting on your couch. And even if I wasn't rooting, I was rooting for the Bruins, but I was like, this is incredible. And I could feel there was tension. I could feel the tension, and I really didn't have a dog in the fight. It was just this. I know who's gonna win this series by the next goal, which was just incredible, and I love the overtime. No matter, even if it keeps me up late, it's truly incredible, and it's just sudden death, and it works out amazing.
I hope and pray that forever and ever, the MLB's broken my heart with a couple rules, but NHL never go to the shootout. I heard a lot of talk about maybe the playoffs bring a shootout after the second or third overtime. No, keep the tension. The tension is beautiful. The fact, and this is my issue partially with soccer, or as other people know it as football, is it comes down to a penalty shootout. I hate a penalty shootout. When I'm playing hockey, I hate the shootout. I hate it. I hate it. When I'm on the ice, I hate it because you play defense, offense, so many other stuff to be decided by us, a skater running down against a goalie. What if your team is based on defense and you don't have the best goalie? Like, it's decided by things that aren't about the sport. And keeping the tension is something that the NBA's really struggled with because, like you mentioned, in Game 7, that's supposed to be, oh, wow, anyone can do it. It's a 20-point game.
Yeah, I do think you made a good point with soccer. Yeah, I was a part of that. It just stunk, but I like it in the regular season with shootouts, but I love it. I love the playoff format, and I think it's shown that people love it. So I don't see the NHL messing with it. And it's just an incredible experience. And I also love the goalie. Which I have a question for you. Do you know who the first person was when they pulled the goalie to bring on the extra man?
The guy they brought on, was it Montour? I think they brought on Montour.
No, I'm just saying in general. When the first coach that was like, you know what, I'm gonna pull my goalie.
It was in
And
the
I just want to know
20s. It was in the 20s. It was in the 20s.
I
or
want to
30s.
know the reaction. What is he doing? Oh, that makes sense. We should start doing that. It's just so exciting because even with the goalie out, it's not easy. It's effective, even though there's an empty net. And the Stars had it. I'm like, just shoot it into the empty net.
It's not that easy.
Yeah,
it's not. It's a sport that with unexplained nerves and luck and skill. Everything goes into it, and the joy I have and the pain is extremely high. And everything is earned, and nothing is taken for granted. The fact that having Bergeron out for the first 5 games, having Krejci out for a couple of them, and I'll mention this more when we actually do the official review, which is before this, but I don't know what to say. It's a beautiful sport, and the NBA has good playoffs once it gets to the conference finals and the finals, but I just don't feel like it's a complete playoff experience like it is with the NHL.
Yeah, I agree. I don't really have to watch the first round.
Unless you have a team, or unless you have a dog in the fight.
Yeah, but I will check out more series when I have time. But I'm gonna watch the NHL series, and man, it's just incredible, and I love the environment and just the playoff aspect, and you can tell how much the players want it, and it's truly fun, and I can't get enough of it.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
Yeah. So let us know what you think. Do you prefer the NBA and what the NHL? That's all we got. Thank you for listening to Outsiders Opinions.